Oreha Preveza Lost Ark Guide Normal Mode. What's going on, Saviors? GH here. This is my Oreha Preveza Lost Ark Guide for the bosses on normal mode. We're only covering the important stuff. Let's not waste any more time. Let's do this. Okay, first boss, the Angry Maguro Captain. There's only a few things to know here and some minor stuff that you only need to avoid or defend against. If you're having difficulty taking a hit from this boss, then you might want to consider getting a bit of endurance, set up your cards with damage reductions, and using skills that reduces damage or gives you shielding. But don't overdo your defenses because DPS is still king in this game. Now, the main problem of this raid is team members, usually. They're not able to take a hit from the boss. Basically, they lower their DPS by running around because they got clipped one time and they're already on life support. So be ready for this raid. And please, use potions. Now, first thing that you need to know here is the boss can stun every 3 hits and expect to get hit here. Here is the debuff that indicates that you got hit and it stacks up to 3 times, then you will get stunned. Now for the actual mechanics. At the beginning of the boss fight, the boss will have an attack buff, this one, and you must remove it as much as possible to lower his damage. And to remove it, just use a mid to high stagger skills to deplete the purple bar here. This is the bar that you need to deplete to remove the attack buff. But be warned that if you do not deplete the purple bar fast enough and he was able to summon flames around the area, then the purple bar will lock. Then you will have to deal with the attack buff he has, which is kind of troublesome because the next fight will be close range. Next mechanic is the fire is spreading, which will set the whole area on fire that deals damage if you're not in the safe zone. Don't worry that much about the fire damage, it doesn't deal that much damage. Now, the safe zone is the area around the boss, which is tricky because every now and then he spins and deals damage. Now, he telegraphs it by showing red areas around him, but I understand that when all sorts of attacks is raining down on the boss, the telegraph red area attack might be difficult to see. This is where being ready to take a hit comes in, because usually he uses the weak spin first, then afterwards, his main spin attack that deals heavy damage if at least one man is left near the boss, because he will do a final slam that deals high damage if there's one near the boss. It's not one shot, but it can take you down if you're not ready. Now, in terms of indicators, the weak spin is really tricky because he does it very quick. But the main spin attack, he will do this animation first. Pay attention, please, because I don't know how to describe what he's doing. I guess he's going Super Saiyan. He kinda does this quick charge burst and then he spins. There's a few things that you could do here. Of course, run as far as you can and take on the fire damage or use a time stop potion to ignore the damage, the final slam. Or what you can do is be ready to take the hit by setting up your character properly and using shielding. Next mechanic is the totems. When you see it, destroy it because it buffs the boss, making him stronger. But when you destroy the totems, you will be immobilized a few seconds later. And to remove the effect, an ally must attack you. Now, if you're alone, don't bother with the totems because nobody will release you for being immobilized and that is game over. Additional tip, guys, the totems are marked red on the minimap. Now, the second boss, Albion. He also does a bunch of attacks like every other boss and you just need to avoid it. Now, for his first mechanic, it's the stagger mode. He will charge and an orange bar will appear below him. This bar over here. And to deplete this, you need to use high amounts of stagger abilities or use whirlwind grenades for better results. If the team fails to stagger the boss will be stronger and use more abilities, and that will be bad overall. So as much as possible, deplete the stagger bar, the orange bar below the boss, this one, so that the boss will be less problematic. Next mechanic is the danger area memorization, and it is what I described. The boss will make the surrounding of the battlefield red except the center and show you danger areas and you need to memorize it. So just know where the attack will come and avoid it. And here is an example. Next mechanic is the red orb mechanic, wherein cone-shaped area attacks will appear and red orbs will chase you. So just avoid the attacks and the red orbs and then look for the safe zones. Because after the cones and red orbs, the boss will then unleash an attack that will one-shot all of you if everybody is not on the safe zone. Now, it's important that you have a mobility skill here that can make you jump really far or dash a decent distance. Because if the red orb touches you, it will then stun you and you're all one-shotted. So yeah, avoid the orbs with mobility skills or maybe use an item that makes you move fast like this one. Now, every now and then, a clown will appear that chases one of your party members or you, so just defeat it. And if the clown reaches the target, you fail to defeat the clown, he will AoE and then blind anyone that gets hit. And now for the final mechanic, it's the power gathering mechanic. And what happens here is Albion will go in the center and show you a symbol on top of him. This one over here. And that indicates the safe zone. So you just need to find the safe zone with that shape and you should be fine. If you fail, you die. He will do this 3 times. So after 1 turn, go near Albion and check what's the next symbol. Here's the full mechanic so that you can see how I did it. Now, at the beginning of the Albion boss fight, you should take a position. One will be at the north, one at the east, south, and then west. This is the preparation for the power gathering mechanic. You do this so that you wouldn't take a teammate's spot because only one can be at a safe zone. But be warned, sometimes 2 safe zones appear in north or east, south, and west. So pay attention. Taking a spot doesn't mean that the safe zone will appear in your direction. So you will still need to be searching. Here is a good example over here. I took a spot in the south and 2 safe zones appeared in the south. So I take 1. And the other safe spot could be for the west guy or for the other teammate at the east. And that's pretty much it. I wish you all luck, good hunting, and this is Gaming Hardcore. See you in the next one.